morning or afternoon or whenever you watch this video. We're still talking about equivalent expressions, and again, our learning target is that I can recognize equivalent expressions. So equivalent means equal to. So when we create these expressions, they are equal to the original expression. So our first expression is f plus f plus f. Okay. So we're going to create an expression that is equivalent to this. Now, I want you to think for a minute. If you do not see a coefficient in front of a variable, what is that coefficient? Give you 2 seconds. Yeah, it's 1. So as I told you before, go ahead and put that 1 there so that you'll remember it. Now, by the time you get in ninth grade, you're going to stop doing that. So we have 1f plus 1f plus 1f. So how many f's is that? Correct. It's 3f. So this expression is also 3 times f. So that lets me know that addition is repeated addition, repeated addition. Let me start over. That's messed up. Repeated addition is multiplication. Now, in our next problem, we have something that repeats. Remember, the dot is for multiplication now. We don't use the x because we use x as a variable. So the dot is multiplication. So this is d times d times d. Now, somebody's asking, well, how much is d? We don't know. We don't know what the value of d is until we assign a value to it. So right now, it's just simply hanging out there as d. But the important part is that we have d times d times d. So d is multiplied by itself, multiplied 3 times, 1, 2, 3. And you may recall that repeated multiplication is exponents. So when we multiply same basis, we add the exponents. So this is, somebody might be saying, I don't see an exponent. Your exponent is 1. So that's d to the first times d to the first times d to the first, which is d to the 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is simply d to the third power. Shortcut, d multiplied by itself 1, 2, 3 times, so it's d to the third power. But this shows you why it's d to the third power. Now we have another one that's repeated addition. And I included this one so that you can remember that 1 in front of your z. If you don't, you're going to get an answer of 6z, which is wrong. This is 2z plus 1z plus 4z. So we add the coefficients. We don't do anything to the exponents, because this is addition. 2 plus 1 is 3, and 3 plus 4 is 7. So I have 7 z's. And remember my example with the apples, 2 apples plus 1 apple plus 4 apples. So if you ever forget, remember to make it apples. Okay. All right, one more. Now we have x multiplied by itself multiple times. And remember, all of these are x to the first power. So the shortcut is, I'm going to write my base, which is x. And how many times am I multiplying it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is actually equal to x to the 6th power. I want to show you one more that I didn't include. So let's say I have 2x times, remember the dot is multiplication, times x. So remember, these are ones in front of here. 2. First, we deal with the coefficients. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. So that's going to be a 2. And then we count my x's. 1, 2, 3, x to the third power. Was that confusing? I'll do one more. I felt like I lost somebody. So let me do b. 4b times b. Let's make it simple. So 4 times 1 is 4 because I have an imaginary 1 there. I do it in pink. And then my b, I have two b's, so that's b to the second power. Okay? Um, Still feel a little confusion. So let's try it again. 5y times 3y times 2y. And the reason I did this, I'm putting numbers in front of each variable so you won't be confused by that. So first we multiply our coefficients. And when we multiply coefficients, which are constants in front of a variable, we just multiply like normal. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. So let me write that out. 5 times 3 times 2. And then that's going to be times, how many y's do I have? 1, 2, 3. So that's y to the third power. So 5 times 3 is 15, times 2 is 30. So this is equal to 30, y to the third. Okay, I'm going to be quiet because I think you got it by now. So go ahead and do all the exercises. We have 2 to repeat from yesterday. Not repeat from yesterday. There's practice from yesterday's. And then there's a mixed practice right after this one. And then I want you to do the quiz. And you will turn all of this in today. Have a good day.